Phones are hot, and we are back. Welcome back into your Rockin' Wrestling radio show and a whole lot more. This is Beyond Ringside. Yours truly, Fast Eddie Layne on this side of the control panel. Welcome back in 205-316-9900, the number to get in touch. Of course, don't forget real quick, you can also find us beyondringside@gmail.com. Of course, the email address. And, of course, we're out there on MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, more places than I've got active brain cells right now. Like to welcome back in tag team partners, Mark MaBo Bowman. Marcus, welcome back.
Trust fall.
For a minute, I thought you were going to say trust fund. It's like, really? You get a trust fund? We need to talk, dude.
Trust fall.
There you go. Like to welcome back in the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
Sorry about the rant earlier, guys.
It's okay. It's the rant is something we've come to know and love about you, Wick. And at this time, I do believe I recognize the number. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may, and we finally get him on Beyond Ringside. Mr. Bill Behrens, how are you doing today?
Well, actually, I'm doing okay, except that I had a chicken dish that I was creating for dinner, which involved, putting stuff in an oven, and it really wasn't complicated. But somehow the sauce has vanished. I have no idea where it went.
Evaporation process?
I have no idea. It just vanished. It was in a little packet. But I'm looking at the dog, and the dog is looking at me like he's done something.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so it could get ugly.
You could have chicken marinade sauce running all around the place, right?
Yes, exactly so. and later with the dog, it could be uglier.
Uh-oh. Bad dog.
Maybe Corey Hollis took it.
Maybe Corey. We'll write that into the storyline. Thank you for being able to come on with us this week. It's an honor.
Yes, well, the inconvenience and minor technical difficulties created a problem last time, but, this time works, so all good.
Thank you. You have been, in more ways than one of the busier people in our industry in more areas.
Yes, well, I've always thought that the more jobs I have, the less I have to lose.
We share the same philosophy. The more places I work, if I lose one, that's okay. I've got more to fall back on, and something else will come into its play, right?
Yes, how do we make our money? Volume.
Amen. And location. How many different How many different organizations have you really worked with, or do you still keep count?
It depends on how you look at them. The key thing from my perspective in terms of my development and what I think was relevant for me was I started with USWA and, had at least a little bit of an impact there until it died. And thank God I didn't have an impact there because they sued me. And then we went on to, simultaneously I was with Smoky Mountain for a period of time, helping them the same way. Then Burt Prentice and I did Music City, which became NWA Worldwide. I decided after about 2 years I wanted to do more in Georgia, did, what I was doing on house shows as NWA Georgia. And then another promotion approached me and said, do you want to help us do TV and make us great and, make the world better for democracy? So we went into something called NCW and recreated it initially because the owner decided he really did like his NCW. It was NCW Wildside.
Okay.
And then eventually, because I had to push them aside because of incompetence, it became NWA Wildside and had the history it had. And then from there, I've done other stuff. And then in between, somehow I've managed to be with WWE, I think 3 contracts, WCW is 2, and TNA I never had a contract, but I was with them on 2 runs.
Now, actually, if I may, I actually should have refined the question a little bit because you've also done consulting work for a number of different promotions around the country.
Yeah, but that's just part of the process because the spot I decided to give myself because nobody else was really doing it is trying to work the industry underneath. Because without an underbelly, without things that are viable going on underneath, which includes talent development and all that stuff, there isn't an industry. You can't build from nothing. And wrestling, if it's done correctly, is not something that some guy can come off the street and do tomorrow.
Right.
Anybody who is not in wrestling, that if you brought them in the ring and you picked them up and you dropped them 2 or 3 times, they would be running away and squealing like a little girl.
Yeah.
Whereas wrestlers, just have a normal human run the ropes. And I swear to God, they'll come out the next day with bruises all up and down their back, which is what happens to every wrestler who starts.
Until you learn the best way.
It's a different environment. You can't just kiss the environment. You have to deliver it.
Right.
So the problem of our industry is maintaining the underbelly, the people who can feed the system.
Right. Okay. Like to welcome in tag team partners, Mark MaBo Bowman. Marcus, come on in.
How you doing, Mr. Behrens?
Hello. And hello to you.
Hello. No, I'm just going over the list of talent that you represent, and I mean, it's literally a who's who of modern day pro wrestling, and I just got to know, how did you come about getting the chance to represent all of these different individuals?
Well, there's actually two different categories. There's the people I actually represent, and then there's the people I represent for booking. You know, if you go to my site, SBIbookings.com, those people are people I help get bookings, and I take a percentage. I get 10% of the money they get booked, and I do a happy dance. But the other people are the people I really represent, their contracts. With some I get paid, with some I don't. But a large percentage of the people I help, the top guy is AJ. And then there's a ton of, Hernandez is one, Jay Lethal is one. There's lots of people underneath that I represent in terms of their negotiations on their career. But there's a whole larger group, with Kevin Nash and all those guys that are on the I get to book them and they want me to help them category. So it's like two different spots. And then the one spot, the booking the guy spot is important. That's just, it's 10% here and there, which allows me to, get extra food sometimes. And then the other spot is more pervasive because, the more you're negotiating contracts for people, the more stuff is really happening.
Now, if I could, let me ask a quick question. You make the reference to the happy dance. Is there a YouTube video of you doing the happy dance?
I would never actually do a happy dance. I will just constantly refer to a happy dance. Because honestly, let's be serious. None of us can actually duplicate a true happy dance in any form of way. It's like the way I think it should be done is similar to the way Stewie would have done it.
Okay.
And that's really a throwback dance that I never did because it's arms up and down, and I don't do that dance.
Well, see, actually,
I've encouraged other people to improvise happy dances, but I try to avoid them.
Well, see, for me, when I think of the term happy dance, first thing pops in my head is the Snoopy dance from the old Peanut cartoons.
Those were excellent.
Yeah, they were.
It involves head bobbing.
Yes.
Lots of head bobbing on a Snoopy dance.
Yes. Thank you, Charles Schultz. Will never be forgotten. Like to welcome back in the Wicked Nemesis. What's up, Wick?
Mr. Behrens, you're synonymous, I said this earlier, with finding young talent, as, like you said, AJ Styles, Corey Hollis, Ryan Bishop, Michael Judas, Phil Shatter. I mean, these guys, Reverend Dan Wilson, Jeff Bailey, these guys are synonymous with you personally. What is it that you think a young talent needs to do besides being, there's a lot of backyard wrestlers that try to come into the business. I mean, to actually make it in like a Ring of Honor or a TNA or a WWE, what is it that you think the young talent has to have to make it?
Well, the easy answer is that I see, which means, what do I know? But I see an it factor, and there is in life an it factor. We may not recognize it, we may not understand it, but it exists. And we know it because of celebrity. That's what makes us understand that it exists. We can look at somebody, Taylor Lautner is an example. I just got a GQ magazine, and he's featured everywhere. And if you look at him, if you step back and you go, okay, good-looking guy. But, then they market the good-looking guy, and he's something special. And that's pretty much the business we're in. So when you evaluate people, you have to look at them as, the talent has to be there. There has to be something to deliver, whether it's bigness or talent. There's, muscles or talent. There's something in there you have to deliver and then realize how you can realize it. And that's the challenge as you look at people and as you evaluate them. My goal is to help everybody who wants to work hard as much as I can. And then reality takes over after that. Some people like AJ, they were a given. When I met him, I knew he was good. I just knew he was doing too much. And I got mad at him after a match he had with Eddie Golden, and he hated me for quite a while. And now I'm Papa Bill.